Studios, your dream is our vision.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, but don't fake it. Enda kumenya mawazo makuu. Nani anadera shie. Oh, utani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. My student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Alright, good morning ladies and gentlemen and welcome to TAS TV, and today we are lucky to have one of the amazing guests from US. I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself, to tell us who she is and what she's doing in Kenya, and also I'm going to introduce the topic of the day. And today we are glad we are going to discuss more about how technology have changed the life of the vulnerable population in Kenya, also worldwide. We are going to discuss the worldwide. So Mama Debbie, welcome and introduce yourself.
Well, Asante Sana.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here and to be able to greet you and all of your viewing population.
Yes.
I'm really excited to share with you about my journey. My name is Mama Debbie, or
Yes.
Debbie Oxford. I grew up in the U.S., of course, and I raised my family, and I even raised my grandchildren in Illinois. But I live in Kenya.
Oh.
I don't consider myself an American. I do consider myself Kenyan,
Okay.
because this is where my heart is. The first time I came to Kenya and my foot touched Kenyan soil was the first time I ever felt like I was home in my whole life.
When was that?
That was in 2019, November of 2019. So let me tell you a little bit about why I'm here in Kenya.
Yes.
In about 2012, we found out that my husband was terminally ill and needed to be cared for at home. And so I became his caretaker, and we realized that since he was my best friend, when he passed away, it would be a very difficult time for me.
Sorry.
So we started trying to decide what we should do to ease that burden on me, the burden of grief. And one of the things that we realized was when I was 10 years old, I knew I was called to be a missionary to Africa. I didn't know what country.
The country
I
that you
didn't
had
know
to go.
Africa wasn't a country.
Yes.
At the time. And so I just knew I needed to go to Africa at some point in my life. And at 63 years old, I hadn't been yet. So we knew that would be part of my future. And so in 2019,
Yes.
organization called Grow Our Faith, and our mission is to improve the lives of children in Kenya and Uganda. And now we're going into other parts of Africa as well. And so that's really been my focus. My husband and I decided that once he passed away, I would sell everything we owned and I would move.
Okay.
And he passed away the day after Christmas in 22, and March 5th of 23, I landed in Kenya to live.
Okay. Talking about Grow Our Faith as an organization, what specific things do you tackle in that organization?
At first, we just wanted to make the lives of vulnerable children better. And we've been, of course, working for almost 2 years in the field, going to visit various situations.
Okay.
We do try to bring food to the vulnerable population, but really that's not a real long-term solution.
Yes.
Because you can give a man a fish and tomorrow he needs another fish, or you can teach him to fish and he fishes for the rest of his life. So our thought is more bringing in enough education, especially vocational education,
Yes.
so that people can improve their job situation, especially like single mothers
Yeah.
can now get an education even in just a few months and begin earning something for their family that allows them to not just feed their family, but perhaps even send their pay tuition so their child gets a good education. I know that on any given day, about half of the kids in Kenya aren't in school, and it's because of tuition.
Yes.
Even though we have free schooling,
Okay.
it's not truly free.
Do you consider the age when you are choosing the children's? Do you have the specific age that you consider?
No, I'm more looking at the income level of the family.
Okay.
And really, when we build an impact center, it's meant for the community as a whole. We build it in the interior villages where the resources are few. We don't want to go to places where other NGOs are building these wonderful things, because why should we duplicate their efforts? Let me go someplace where there aren't other NGOs operating in this area, and let me make a difference in lives where nobody's making a difference right now.
Yes. I've heard that you have two organizations. One it is in Uganda and one in Kenya. How do you balance those two? I know it is a bit a challenge.
It does get difficult for me.
Yes.
To balance them all at times. I'm now trying to take my hands off of my Kenyan team and let them go. I think I've got my Kenyan team organized well enough. Every committee knows its roles and duties and function without a lot of oversight. In Kenya, in Uganda, I'm sorry, we're still building the program there.
I think it is a good idea, and also what you are doing, it is great because you are assisting the lives of the people and also the vulnerable children that we are seeing them here in a street. And looking at the things that you are doing in Kenya, how many years have you settled these things all?
How many years?
Yeah. Started this organization, and how many students do you have there that you fed?
I can't really count the number that I fed because I'll often go out. If I go walking near Kerias in Thika, I know that in front of that store there will be street boys and there will be vendors selling chapatis and smokies and eggs. And so the street boys will run up to me saying, "Mama, Mama," and they know I will go get them some smokies and chapatis. And so how can I count them? Because sometimes there's 15, sometimes there's 20.
Do you have a Kenyan name?
Do I have a Kenyan name?
Yes.
Not really. Not yet.
Mama Dabi. All right, that is good. And talking about, do you face some of the challenges when assisting these people?
Of course. Of course. Last year we were distributing 23 tons of rice, and we often had widows take their rice, go hide it, change their clothes, and get back in line to get more rice. And we try to be very fair about the distribution.
Yes.
Try to be very fair and give everybody as much as possible, so that kind of messes up our system a little bit. So this year we're getting 46 tons of rice about Christmas.
Wow.
We've got a plan to help make that easier, I think.
So do you have a duration that you keep this student for? They reach in some of the years now, you release them, or it is just like that one?
Just come and go, yeah. one of my goals with our impact centers that we're building, I think the impact centers are a very important thing for us to talk about, because we can go to a vulnerable community. We can partner with a church or other organization. I like to partner with churches because church buildings are empty during the week normally. And if I can improve the earning capacity of that congregation, it helps the church. So really, it helps them, it helps us, for us to go into that church, for us to, we use their electricity, we use their water, we use their chairs, we bring in our tables, we bring in computers, laptops or computers, we bring in a nice printer, and we bring in the Wi-Fi. And that's all it takes. That, in American money, that takes about $3,000 to do, and I don't have to build a building, so I don't have to spend a lot. That means I can go into a lot more communities that way. And so that's really that kind of partnership, that helps them and it helps us, but in the end, it helps the community grow.
Yeah. Now, apart from Kenyan churches assisting you, talking about US, do you have other organization that you deal with them so that you can assist these people?
A lot of the money last year that was donated to build impact centers was donated by Food Force Enterprise. I met the owner. He was standing behind me when I was standing in line to get my plane ticket to come to Kenya the first time, or not the first time, before the time when I was moving here. And I turned around and I said, "You want to know why I'm going to Kenya?" And he said, "Yes." So I told him, and he started sending me money to do things in Kenya.
Yeah.
So he's the one who sends the rice. So it's been a very, very, God has really blessed me with this relationship.
Amen.
And God continues to bless, grow our faith as we grow and change, and as we understand more and more about what we're doing and what the needs are.
How do people take up your work in the streets, in the society, assisting all the people? Kenyans, how do they react?
They treat me like I'm a fairy godmother or something, or a queen. When I went to Semangu, they roasted a goat for me, and I'm like, I'm not that special. I'm just doing whatever I can.
Yes.
I'm not giving you anything that God doesn't give me first, So I'm very humbled by the way I'm received.
What is the main target that you tag in this all of your work? Assisting.
I see in my mind,
yes,
I see a child, maybe 3 years old, whose mother has no hope for him to grow up with the kind of education that you obviously have had, that I have had, and that so many of us have. And without that education, we don't know what that child could be. Is he another Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Abraham Lincoln? We don't know the potential of that child, and we can't find out the potential of that child if he doesn't have the education he needs. In order for him to have the education he needs, the mother and father need the support. They need the vocational training so that they can afford to raise that child and to educate him.
Okay, thank you very much, Mama Dabi. For those who are following, you can leave a comment, you can subscribe to our channel. Okay, you can also even ask a question, anything that you want to know about Mama Debbie, you can ask her. She's here with us. So please, in Thika, talking about in Thika, do you have those any platforms or areas where these students come and meet, do whatever they want? How is the going?
I don't consider Thika a vulnerable community. Right now, the communities that we're working in is we have one in Ndao, which is about 2 hours from Nakuru. It's in the Baringo area. They're very hot. They're very dry. There's no industry.
Oh, yes.
So it's a very, I don't want to use the
semi-arid
word
areas.
backward. Yeah. So it's very difficult. We did bring Wi-Fi in there. I don't know that there was much Wi-Fi there before.
Yes.
We're working in December 15th,
Yes.
we're opening our impact center in a village called Mavindu. It's near Tala.
Tala,
in
in
Machakos.
Machakos. In Machakos. Yes.
Yes, and it's on top of a mountain. Well, the drive up the mountain in my car is 30 minutes. There's no facilities up the mountain. Everything stops at the bottom of the mountain. They're calling it the Forgotten Village because there is nothing. So can you imagine if you are a woman in labor and you're at the top of the mountain? The bottom of the mountain's a long way
It is
away.
so difficult.
And if it's raining,
Yeah.
I can't get my car up the mountain. So it's a very difficult place to get to, and it's not that they don't have rain and resources like that. They don't have the shops, they don't have doctors.
Their
they
life is
have
very
one
difficult in
school.
those areas.
Yeah, and of course there's no Wi-Fi up there at this time. December 15th there will be Wi-Fi.
Well, I think one time I'll visit Tara because I come from that area also.
Oh, okay. Well, December 15th you're welcome to come with me.
I think I will.
Okay.
Are you planning also to have more branches in the region, Kenya?
Yes, the next one we're going to build in Kenya is going to be Semangu. We've been given 3 acres of property there just because we can build a family impact center.
Yes.
Make a big difference in that village of 400 people.
I see many of you are opening those areas. You focus mostly on the semi-arid areas where the life sometimes it is challenging. Yeah. Not like
Yeah, I think those areas tend to have a bigger challenge in food security and in industry and jobs, and that's one of the areas. One of the things I really like about bringing Wi-Fi into areas like that is once Wi-Fi is available, we can train people to do things like social media and website building and just a lot of things that are where they're able to earn money online, and it doesn't matter what country they're in, they will earn the same money as an American would earn there. And I think that's a blessing especially in the vulnerable communities.
And I think it is one way people they can create jobs, opportunities, they can learn and they can explore more about the internet. Yeah.
One of the things I like to tell people
Yes.
is one of the platforms that I like to recommend is Allison.com. But I say to them, Allison.com is great. It will give you all the vocational classes you want for free, and they have thousands of them. But they have a little bit of a trick. They want you to buy a certificate or diploma. But in my opinion, go into business for yourself. You don't need a piece of paper. You just need the knowledge. Let's get the knowledge. The knowledge is freely available, so let's get that. And then just be an entrepreneur. Go into business for yourself. In our impact centers, we have a small business incubator to help those people who do go into business so that they learn the bookkeeping and all of the record keeping type information that they need to learn too.
Yeah. Do you have trainees who will take them through the Wi-Fi, through the website to teach them all of that?
Yeah, when we open up an impact center, we don't hire an IT specialist. We hire a teacher because a lot of the people in those interior villages don't even know basic English. And of course, to use a computer these days, you really do have to know English. And, you know, they haven't seen a computer many times, so my teacher will teach them basic computer skills. And that's really all you need to access the internet. You don't need to be an IT specialist. You don't need to, you know, I've had a personal computer since 1983.
Wow.
You don't need to have that kind of history.
You are an expert of using the computer from 1983.
Yeah, I used to write programs when they were simple to write. Don't try that now by yourself.
I saw a little bit about photography. Do you take them through?
Yeah, we have a program. We're teaming up with a program called Cameras for Girls that right now is in Uganda. We're bringing that into our impact centers in Kenya. We're striving to get cameras from America to bring in so that these girls can be taught media. They can be taught, I can bring them here and have them taught about a TV station and doing that. And I can personally teach a lot about photography, of course. So, the girls are underrepresented in your field. Yeah. We have, I don't know do you know about the percentage of women that are in your field?
There are many.
But not near as many as men.
I will tell you.
Yeah. I'd like to find that out because I know the girls are underrepresented in that field, and I would like to see that increase.
Okay, you will.
Yeah.
Wow. And talking about now Uganda, do you do the same thing in Kenya to Uganda also?
That's where we're going. We actually built the first impact center in Uganda a little over a year ago, but I needed to have a little bit more. I needed to be closer to it, and I prefer living in Kenya to Uganda. I'm hot enough in Kenya. Uganda's just a little too warm for Uganda's just a little too warm for me, although I enjoy visiting Uganda a lot. I have a couple of several dear friends now in Uganda. One runs an orphanage. He has 39 children in his orphanage, and in 2020 I was blessed to buy a mattress, throw it on the floor of the little girls' room, and sleep there and spend a whole week with them. Yeah. And I enjoyed that a lot. Anybody who sees me around children knows that my attention will always go to the children before it goes to the adults. When I've preached in church services, I've told the pastors, I said, if you see me with the children outside, don't interrupt me. If you need somebody to preach, go preach yourself or do a little more worship or something, because when I'm with my children, that's where my heart is.
Now, there is something I forget to ask you about your organization. You call it Grow Our Faith. That name, it is very powerful.
Thank you.
Can you elaborate more about that one?
Sure. Faith has been my favorite word most of my life. Obviously, I'm talking about my faith in God, not my faith in man. Men let me down. People in general will let you down every time. But of course, my God never lets me down. And I very carefully chose the word "are" because I'm not a lead. I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm not bringing you along with me. It's a trip that we take together, and I am only a coach to help coach people on that journey to Christ.
Yes.
And so that's why I chose the word "are," and of course, grow. I hope my faith continuously grows the rest of my life, and I pray that yours does as well.
Wow, that is good. We are going to take a very, very short break. We'll be back. Kwa hivyo usiende mbali mpenzi mtazamaji.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho na nipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love I don't fake it. Hey, ndakumenya mawado makuru nani anedera shire warutani waku
vichekesho mkisongaza mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie. I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Africa Studios, your dream is our vision.
Okay, welcome back. We are with Mama Debbie in our show Morning Digest here in TAS TV. Thank you very much for those who are following. Thank you very much for those who are even commenting. But I would like you to subscribe to our channel. I like you to share our videos. Even whoever was the question, you can ask down there. We are here. We are ready to answer any question that you are going to ask. Oh, remember we are talking about how technology have changed the life of a vulnerable population, and today we are talking about also we are talking about in Kenya and also in Uganda, but our aim it is to reach all the people across the world. Yeah, and we are with Mama Debbie. She's explaining more about what she has been doing through the back years and also currently. Yeah, so Mama Debbie, people may ask, will you like to partner with other people in Kenya in your organization?
Absolutely. We're still looking for members to join Grow Our Faith. We're still small, and there's a lot of work to be done, and I need a big team to reach them. I truly believe that I shouldn't come in as an American and say, oh, this is what you guys need, this is how to fix the problem. I truly believe that the solution lies in you guys. It's you know the problem and the solution. And so I'm just here to assist my Kenyan team to come
raise
up
up.
with a solution and to implement it. And that's my job. So I need lots of partners.
And how do people feel, by the way, when you assist them? More especially the people that you are targeting, the location, the areas. How do they react?
I am overwhelmed by the amount of love that I'm given, because this stuff doesn't come from me, it comes from God. And, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing to be appreciated so much for something that you didn't give out of your own resources.
Yes.
I mean, I do give out of my own resources, of course, but God blessed me with those things too. So I'm only giving out of the blessings that I've received.
Yes. With many years coming, where do you want your organization to reach?
I want to see Grow Our Faith in most African countries.
Yes.
I really believe that within 20 years we can change the face of Africa as far as being a third world, very poor, poverty-ridden country. You guys have a lot of great resources. There's certainly enough food in Kenya and Africa to feed everybody if it's handled right, and if people are being raised up to have the kind of income that can purchase the food. That's what I see as one of the major problems, is not that the food's not available, it's that the people who need the food don't have the finances to purchase the food.
Yeah. So far, you have 2 branches in Kenya. Before you open a branch somewhere, so you consider the research first and then you are located there.
Yeah, we actually have 4 areas in Kenya that we're currently looking at for impact centers. I mentioned near Cliffy, there's a village called Semangu. That's going to be our 3rd one. And then we're also building one near Watamu in Akropoi Island at the school there. So those are the first 4 that we have for Kenya. We are looking in. I have one of the people on my board is Bishop Joseph Wamala in Bungoma. Of course, we're wanting to build one near him in some of the vulnerable villages near Bungoma. And we have a small school in Eldoret called Grow Faith Academy. We want to expand that and grow that portion of our educational system too. When we, at some point in the future, within the next few years, we will take these impact centers and we will enlarge them and create family impact centers is what we will call them. But they will have, in addition to the being built around the impact center, they will have the ability to have meetings so that we can teach people. We will be able to have table banking and all sorts of other resources for people available in those places. We're planning on having places where we can hold clinics and bring doctors to these villages where the nearest doctor might be 7 kilometers away. So when we are able to take that impact center and turn it into a family impact center, it will be a big blessing, I think, to the entire community that we're trying to affect.
Yeah, so some of the children that you assist, you may find that a child is more talented either in music, either in running, either in football. How do you deal with those talents?
Well, that's one of the things that I look at actually when people want to come into Grow Our Faith, when people want to partner with us, is I want to place people where their talents lay, because God put those talents into people. God gifted you in that particular area with those talents because he wants you to use them. So let me take advantage of that. Let me put you where you belong, because you will work the best there, you will do the best there, and that. So when I see a child with those talents, of course I want to nurture those talents because those are God-given gifts.
Now, talking about the achievements in your organization, I think many of the students have achieved what they want. Can you talk about that one also?
I don't know that any of my students have decided that they're done. I think learning is a lifelong process. I don't want to mention my age, but I'm certainly still learning.
Okay. Thank you. Talking about now the education, platforms makes education accessible to who can't attend the traditional schools, including those with disability, refugees, and those in the remote regions. Education content tailored to different learning needs like audio or braille options opens doors for the different abled learners. About this, what can you talk about it?
One of the things I really like about online learning platforms is they're all built to go at your own speed. So if you're a slow learner, more time.
Yes.
If you're a fast learner, you can skip ahead. And if you have difficulty in math, but you're good in English,
Yes.
you can skip ahead in English, but spend more time on math. And so one of the things I love about the online platform is it's able to be customized and personalized to your own needs. So whatever those needs are, whatever those talents are that we can help you with,
Okay.
that's what it's for.
Now, talking about the job opportunities and the skills development, online platforms and the training courses empower vulnerable individuals to gain skills and find employment. Technology has enabled flexible work environment, which are particularly beneficial for the single parents, people with disabilities, and those who cannot leave home. Can you talk about this also?
That was a long sentence. Sorry, let me think back over it. Just the amount of vocational training that's available is mind-boggling. I really, and there is so much opportunity if you're willing to put in the work to learn one thing. Don't spread yourself thin and try to learn everything there is out there, but focus yourself so in one area of expertise, and that makes you valuable in that area. And I'm always looking for valuable people.
Yes.
I've recently hired valuable people to do social media.
Yes.
I am still looking for somebody to get my website up to date. Anybody out there want to volunteer?
You want a volunteer?
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but skills like that are not something everybody has. And you make yourself into an employable individual. You know, a lot of young men want to come to me and say, empower me. But really, it's not my job to empower any of you. God put the empowerment inside of you. You just have to figure out what it is that God put in you that's not the same as what he put in your neighbor. and go with that. Learn what that is and follow that path that he's laid out for you. Because I guarantee you, God has a good plan for your life.
Wow, that is good. Finally, voice and advocacy. Social media has become a platform for marginalized groups for amplify their voices, share experience and advocate for their rights. Crowdsourcing platforms also allow people to raise funds or awareness for the special causes reaching a global audience. Yeah.
Social media is really powerful. Of course, I use a lot of social media. I'm on social media every day now because it does reach so many people, and it does allow us to amplify our voice. For a really good example, for those of you here in Kenya, recently, Gen Z had quite an effect on our government here in Kenya. And without social media, that wouldn't have happened. That didn't happen in previous generations simply because the social media understanding wasn't there. But now that it's there, the young people, the Gen Z,
Yes.
and even the generation under that can see what kind of power they actually have.
Yeah. Finally, as we conclude, what can you tell the people, or anything that left behind you wanted to add about the technology or the discussion of today? You can also address them.
You know, it doesn't take somebody from America to come and help a vulnerable person. It takes you.
Wow.
I know lots of my team members are on my team because I know their hearts, because I have seen them take from the little that they have to help somebody else.
Yes.
And I think that's very important. We need to see ourselves not just as individuals, but as a community. You know, the Bible says, love God, love others. And that's really where my heart is. I love God.
Yes.
And God has given me this wonderful love to share with other people, especially the kids.
Yeah. Okay, as we finish, the last question, many people may want also to join you. Are there some of the qualities that one should have, or some of the elements that you want this person to have so that he can join your organization?
Sure. One of the first things you need to know is Grow Our Faith is not a rich organization that's going to make you rich.
Don't come up with that mentality for
Yeah.
those who are joining you.
Yeah.
Eh.
Come with the mentality that you're here to help us help others.
Yes.
And not that you're here to get something from me. And really, any field, we need people from every field.
Yes.
You know, we need so many workers.
But people come with a mentality to assist others,
Yeah.
not them to be rich.
Exactly, exactly, yeah. And you can easily, you know, you can send us an email at growourfaith.com. That's GROWOURFAITH @gmail.com. Or you can call us at 0797-191-634, or you can find us all over social media and just reach out, and any of my team can help you to send you an application to become a member of Grow Our Faith.
Yes.
We do ask you to put in 500 shillings a year to help us with just drive Grow Our Faith forward.
You can greet 2 to 3 people. You can say hi to 3 people who are listening. I know there are many people who have assisted you in this journey. You can also say something to them.
Well, let me say hi to Daniel, my chairman. I am so happy with the relationship we have built, and you have meant the world to me, Daniel. Daniel is Bishop Daniel Otwera in Thika. I have another good friend, George Mignata. He's been very, very helpful.
Yes.
There's another Bishop, Daniel Mathika. He's in the Machakos area. There's just an endless list of people that mean so much to me. Uganda, of course. Pastor Holiness, Kabumba Holiness. Kajumbi John Baptist runs the orphanage there. Pastor Kabumba Holiness is an IT specialist.
Yes.
And he travels the world. He's really behind a lot of the Impact Center. He's, of course, over that whole committee. But his story is his father was a pastor, and they had an orphanage, so he grew up in an orphanage. And if it wasn't for somebody sponsoring him to get his education in IT, he wouldn't be where he is today. And I know many, many stories like that.
Yeah. I've heard many of your friends are from Kenya, which is good also. Yeah, and the Uganda. Yeah, and finally, I say thank you for your coming. Thank you for hearing my call and that you came. It is not easy. It is not easy, Mama Debbie. So I say thank you from bottom of my heart. I'm very humbled with the with the TAS TV fraternity. We say thank you. And anytime that you feel like you want to come, you are much welcomed to TAS TV.
Well, I'm sure we will be here again.
Yeah, you are much welcome to our TV. Yeah, thank you very much for the viewers who have been watching us through, who have been commenting, and also for those who are going to share our clips there, for those who are going to subscribe. We say thank you very much for the interaction. God bless you and have a nice week. Bye-bye.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, ndakumenya mawazo makuu. Nani anadera shida? Oh, utani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
at gmail.com, at Tante Africa Studios.